Here it is at the end of 2023. So I thought I would make a top 10 motorcycle rides of 2023 video. So to qualify, this has to be a road that I videotaped and released in 2023. At first I wasn't sure if I would have enough material. Maybe I hadn't ridden enough great rides to really make a top 10 list. But the fortunate truth was I had too many rides, and rides I thought for sure would make the list didn't. So I really feel good about this list. It's a great set of roads. They're basically in Nevada, Arizona, and California, since that's where I spent the majority of my time videotaping motorcycle rides this year. To qualify, I thought about several criteria, how many twisties and sweepers it had, the quality of the road, various factors, how much traffic, but ultimately it came down to how much fun I had. And that included enjoying the scenery, enjoying the road. So without further ado, here's my top 10 motorcycle rides of 2023. Rim of the World, Scenic Byway, California. Some sites include Highway 138 west to Cajun Junction and Highway 18 east all the way to Big Bear Lake, which does make for an excellent stretch of road, but for this list, I'm focusing on just the Highway 18 section between Running Springs and Crestline, the key part which lives up to the name of Rim of the World. This is the part where you're riding up in the sky, looking over Los Angeles, the San Bernardino Valley, and even as far as the Pacific Ocean, depending upon the amount of fog in the air. This is scenery like you wouldn't believe. It's just spectacular what you see over the edge of the cliffside, and plenty of twists and turns as one would expect on a mountain road in California mountains. The Globe Young Highway, Arizona. Highway 288 is the Globe Young Highway. It runs between Young and towards Globe, but for our purposes, it ends at the junction with Highway 188. This road runs high through the mountains, deep into forests, and comes down near the Roosevelt Dam. There's some dirt roads and some paved roads, some of which are very rough, but all of which are very fun. There's some cliffside views and some long rolling hills with switchback lanes in them. This ride has a little bit of everything, and you will not be disappointed on this journey. Number 8. Little Tujunga Canyon Road, California. Tucked away in the mountains of the Angeles National Forest, just north of Los Angeles, is Little Tujunga Canyon Road. This road doesn't receive too much traffic because there's better routes to get to major destinations, and that suits me just fine. This is an excellent and well-known motorcycle road that doesn't receive too much traffic. The road is very scenic with some breathtaking views across the canyon, particularly when you look across and see the road you're yet to do. The real attraction, however, is the road itself. It twists and turns with several switchbacks and is an excellent riding experience. Number 7. Christmas Tree Pass Road, Nevada. Next up is a section of the Nevada BDR, or Backcountry Discovery Route. Backcountry Discovery Routes are off-road sections that take you through interesting places from one end of a state to another. So this is exploring a section of that between Searchlight on Highway 95 and Laughlin on Highway 163. This section of road is about 30 miles or 50 kilometers in total length. It's fairly easy gravel with a bit of sand to start, and it slowly narrows and becomes more difficult as you get farther into the backcountry. Yeah, I dumped my bike here in the sand, and I did struggle through sections, but it was a lot of fun. Do be careful if you go, get yourself trained, but if you have the right bike and the right tires, you'll have a lot of fun. The scenery is fantastic, and you really feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. Number 6. The Devil's Highway, Highway 191 in Arizona. The Devil's Highway starts at the open-pit copper mining town of Morenci and winds up through the mountains to Alpine. It passes through pretty much every climate zone imaginable, from the desert heat in the lowlands to the brisk snowy cold high in the mountains. Here's one of the many switchbacks on this route. It's a road that has a little bit of everything, from all the climate change to the varied road conditions. Some of the road was in fairly poor shape. You're left with no guardrails on these cliffside vistas, and the scenery here is spectacular and changes quite a bit. Here you can see the rock has become more red in nature, and at times it's more yellowish. After endless twisties, we find ourselves on an open range plateau, and then into an area of forest fires as we continue to climb higher and higher into the mountains. Of course, this leads us to our first snow. From there we start winding our way down, but this has been a spectacular journey. Number 5, Mingus Mountain, Highway 89A, Arizona. This route is about 30 miles or 50 kilometers long. It goes from the lowlands of Prescott Valley up to the cliffside village of Jerome, traveling through the Black Hills beside Mingus Mountain. The road conditions here are what you might expect on a mountain pass, so be careful as you take the many sweeping turns and switchbacks. It's an excellent motorcycle road for adventure. It keeps you focused on the road, and that's a good thing in my books. While this top 10 list is all about the journey, sometimes the destinations are worth it too. Such is the case here with the little village of Jerome, a great waterhole to rest after this epic journey past Mingus Mountain. Number 4, Highway 138 in San Bernardino National Forest, California. Some people would have connected this route with my number 10 ranked Rim of the World Highway, but they have different highway designation numbers and are quite different. The Rim of the World Highway is scenic, as I've shown you. This one, the views are more blocked by the trees, so it's all about the road. You've been high up in the mountains and are now dropping significantly, and that makes for some exciting roads. Also, the roads are very clean and they're well maintained, and you also have good visibility despite the trees. They seem to have, you can see your way around the corners, and that really makes it an interesting experience. So it's thrilling, but not overly dangerous. I like that. You're able to see where you're going easily, and that really helps you enter a turn with the right velocity to really enjoy it. Number 3, Prospect Trail, the Valley of Fire, Nevada. This is not your typical motorcycle road. It doesn't have switchbacks. It's not running high in the mountains. It doesn't have high speeds, but it does have fantastic scenery. This is really something special and not to be missed. A mere hour outside of Las Vegas in Nevada is the Valley of Fire, and this endless views like this. It's spectacular just on the road, but I highly encourage you to take a walk at one of the several places they have. There's some really interesting things you can do in this place. I think this is one of the top roads for sure. I would go back again and again. Number 2, South Grade Road, Palomar Mountains, California. Well, here we are, already at number 2, near the pinnacle of my motorcycle rides in 2023 videos. You want scenic views? You've got them. Views from the Palomar Mountains stretch over Camp Pendleton and as far as the Pacific Ocean. South Grade Road features plenty of switchbacks and many long sweepers. It's only about 7 miles long, or about 10 or 11 kilometers, but it's just an amazing road. I rode it from high to low, and I think the other way would be even better. But it had everything. Nice views, a need to concentrate on the road. I was looking at my phone. It's just endless squiggle lines showing where the road is. You're transported into a different place. You're so focused on the road, and this is definitely a road to hit. Do not miss it. It's high up on my fun factor, as high as my fun factor goes. As good as this road was, and it was good, I did find one road I thought was even better, and that brings us to our final listing. And number 1, Mount Lemmon Highway through Willow Canyon, Arizona. And here we are at number 1, numero uno, the very best road I took videos of in 2023. It was quite fun coming up with this list, and this one really deserves it. It combines some of the qualities of number 2 and number 3. It has the scenery of the Valley of Fire's Prospect Trail, and it has many of the same twists and turns of the South Grade Road and the Palomar Hills. It's maybe not quite as scenic and maybe not quite as twisty, but it's very close on both counts, and the combination vaults this one to my personal pick for the best road I traveled. The road to Mount Lemmon through Willow Canyon is a one-way road, so you get to experience it on the way up and also on the way down. And that's quite delightful because the views are different depending upon which way you're going. So it's really a longer ride and a magnificent one. This trail takes you from the desert heat of Tucson up to the snow caps of a ski resort at the top of Mount Lemmon. Due to the proximity with Tucson, pick a good time of day to travel here. You don't want to get stuck behind trucks. This is the kind of road you want to travel at your own pace. I hope you enjoyed this top 10 list. Quite likely, you would rate some of these roads differently. Well, here's your chance. Do that in the comments. Also, include other roads that you think are excellent roads in these areas that you would put in the list. Maybe I'll ride them next time. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for your support, and don't forget to like and subscribe.